So what are we about to do right now? We are going to look into this Prince Harry and Meghan Markle interview situation and why it's terrible. For those of you who don't know, Oprah Winfrey, renowned television personality, recently put out what people are calling a bombshell interview where Meghan Markle and Prince Harry finally come clean and open up about leaving the royal family. And boy, did they have a lot of things to say about that. Today's comment shout out goes to Neo, who says, "You got a nice voice. That's all I gotta say. I appreciate it, and I'm aware." Now, before we get into that, let's get into today's sponsor, Drop, a rewards program that gives you points when you shop, game, or take surveys. I just downloaded the app, made an account, linked my card, it takes debit or credit, and then bam, Drop keeps track of all your rewards automatically. And despite doing all of this so well that you never even have to think about it, it's also free. So the only thing that you really get out of this is rewards. Out of the hundreds of stores that you can shop, you're bound to find something with all of Drop's personalized recommendations. Like, they have lots of for fun stuff for sure, but there's even more practical things like rewards for shopping at Walmart grocery. If you're looking to splurge a little, you could feel better about it by saving. And if you are already going to get something, you may as well get rewarded for it as well. So download Drop from the link in my description and use code D'Angelo when you sign up. Drop is giving everybody $10 worth of points after you earn your first 1,000. And you can do that really easily, by the way, just by playing one of the games over on their arcade tab. So go follow the link in my description and download Drop from the Play Store or the App Store today.
It's time they tell their story.
Whoa! I know. You really are having a...
Why is Oprah dressed like me? What's going on here? What is this? Does Oprah's team have something they want to tell me?
I just want to make it clear to everybody.
This isn't my house. This isn't your house.
This is my house. We're using a friend's house. There has not been an agreement. You don't know what I'm going to ask, and you are not getting paid for this interview.
All of that's correct.
The fact that they have to clarify that they finally ran out of those palace bucks, so they got to go do this interview for money.
I will say I went into it naively because I didn't grow up knowing much about the royal family.
But you were certainly aware of the royals.
Of course.
And if you're going to marry a royal, then you would do research about what that would mean.
Well, I didn't do any research about what that would mean.
You didn't do any research.
Would you ever get with somebody without Googling them? I understand people consider that to be toxic or weird or stalking. I don't care because I am not setting myself up for failure.
You were no more nervous than the regular person who goes to meet somebody's grandmother. You weren't that intimidated because it was the queen.
The idea of, well, I grew up in LA. You see celebrities all the time. It's very easy, I think, especially as an American, to go, oh, these are famous people.
She treated Queen Elizabeth like she was Kim K.
It was reported that Meghan had left Kate in tears.
Was there a situation where she might have cried or she could have cried?
No, the reverse happened. I protected that from ever being out in the world.
That's true. Because did y'all ever hear anything about that until this interview? That wasn't even in the tabloids.
Do you think there was a standard for Kate in general and a separate one for you? And if so, why?
I don't know why.
Oh, she knows.
I can see now what layers were at play there.
But she's not going to say it. Everyone literally despises you when you say it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. It was racism.
It's a family business, right? So there's the family, and then there's the people that are running the institution. Those are two separate things, and it's important to be able to compartmentalize that, because the Queen, for example, has always been wonderful to me.
I knew it, and do you know why? Because she literally dresses too well to be problematic. I was like, if I watch this and I find out some garbage about Queen Elizabeth, that's not gonna add up. You can't age like that and be bad at the same time. Y'all wanna know how you age when you're problematic? You kind of be out there looking like this. Okay, I mean, to be fair, he's 99 years old. Holy crap. She 94. I don't see her out here looking like a corpse.
In those months when I was pregnant, so we have in tandem the conversation of, he won't be given security, he's not gonna be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
Who is having that conversation?
Bunch of white people grilling you about whether or not your baby's going to turn out dark? That's terrifying. What are you going to do if he was dark skinned? That's the kind of question you can ask only if you have bad intentions.
I just didn't see a solution. Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time, and ashamed to have to admit it to Harry, especially. I went to the institution. And I said that I needed to go somewhere to get help, that I've never felt this way before, and I need to go somewhere. And I was told that I couldn't, that it wouldn't be good for the institution.
That went from sad to infuriating real quick. They didn't let her get professional mental help. Where do we go from there? Okay, first I was like, wow, this is like heartbreaking. This is very hard to watch. But now I'm just like, how are people like this?
Did you ever think about going to a hospital?
I couldn't, call a Uber to the palace.
Yeah.
You couldn't just go. I mean, you have to understand as well, it's when I joined that family, that was the last time until we came here that I saw my passport, my driver's license, my keys, all that gets turned over.
So they were controlling her. I'm sorry, but that's abusive.
And that's, I think, so important for people to remember is you have no idea what's going on for someone behind closed doors. You have no idea. Even the people that smile the biggest smiles and shine the brightest lights, it seems, to have compassion for what's actually potentially going on.
The only reason she's embarrassed is because we are so backwards in our treatment of mental health. People still went on to say that she's clout chasing. If you admit that Meghan Markle was really going through all this, then you have to say, wow, the National Enquirer, Daily Mail, all these people are definitely super racist. There's a racism problem here.
The biggest concern was that while we were in Canada in someone else's house, I then got told, short notice, that security was going to be removed. By this point, courtesy of the Daily Mail, the world knew our exact location. So suddenly it dawned on me, hang on a second, the borders could be closed. We're going to have our security removed. Who knows how long lockdown's going to be? The world knows where we are. It's not safe. It's not secure.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say I've never imagined, what if I was so powerful that people were out to get me?
There's a reason that these tabloids have holiday parties at the palace. They're hosted by the palace. The tabloids are.
That literally explains everything. I've always been like, why does the British press, the tabloids specifically, act like the royal family can do no wrong? They're fully getting paid off, if you know what I mean, just in social capital.
They were so attacking and inciting so much racism, really. I mean, it changed the risk level because it wasn't just catty gossip.
Any regrets?
I have one. My regret is believing them when they said I would be protected. And now, because we're actually on the other side, we've actually not just survived, but are thriving.
She said, not me being in my bag and y'all being mad.
He ultimately called it and was like, we've got to find a way for us, for Archie. And you made a decision that certainly saved my life. And saved all of us.
So this is what Piers Morgan had to say.
If it was said, perhaps in all innocence, what colour baby might you have, without any suggestion of it being a concern or a worry if it had darker skin, would that in itself, would just the question be racist?
The hoops, the lengths they go to justify any and all racism.
Meghan just got it wrong. Archie hasn't been prevented from being a prince.
We sure are spending a lot of time talking about why she's wrong and no one was racist towards her than we are about the fact that she was pushed to the point of almost harming herself.
She's explaining her experience of it, and you know what? We've not walked in her shoes, so I wouldn't.
I don't care what your experience is. If the facts you're basing it on is wrong.
Still entitled.
I don't care what your experience is if the facts that you're basing it off of is wrong. The urge that just rose up within me to like turn this interview off.
I think that we need to all take a step back, and I understand that you don't her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, maybe not mine.
No.
See you later.
I'm being.
Sorry, can't do this.
This is absolutely diabolical behaviour.
Embarrassing. That was jarring. If we've learned anything from this, I think one thing is clear. Piers Morgan is down horrendous, and you hate to see it. Anyway, I'll be here all week, folks, at 2 p.m. Central Time. If it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that means I'm uploading a new video here. If it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, that means I'm going live over on Twitch. So basically what I'm saying is I'll see you tomorrow. Unless, of course, tomorrow is Sunday, in which case, just watch this video again. Okay, bye.